I think he don't did them because he really wanted to do. I think Turki Al told him you need to do something, and he did. He did.
Same shit that everybody else been saying since I moved to 147. I ain't fought nobody. Every last one of them stump a mud hole in. He gonna be next.
Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford aren't just showing up, they're heating things up. The tension has stayed high from the very first exchange of words to the final cold stare that made Dana White step in.
You know what? I didn't. He did before. He tried to welcome me back, and it just was my reaction.
Crawford came in strong during their latest intense face-off, making it clear that on fight night, there won't be any pushing, just pure punishment. Then he dropped the line, "I'll stomp a mud hole in your ass." This wasn't just talk, it was a clear message that he's ready for war.
When I beat you, is you gonna be a nobody? When I stump a mud hole in your is you gonna be a nobody? You gonna be just like everybody else. Watch. Watch.
This whole lead-up has felt more like an explosion than a typical press tour. Crawford has been smiling through the chaos, acting like Canelo's antics don't faze him. But behind that calm look, something big is brewing. He's not here for handshakes, he's here to make history.
Listen, that wasn't nothing. You know what I mean? Like, that little push didn't do nothing, as you can see. But come fight time, we're not gonna be pushing, we're gonna be punching, so it doesn't even.
Bulma, Terence Crawford's longtime trainer, spoke openly about how the early rounds against Canelo Alvarez might unfold. He didn't downplay the challenge of going up against someone as experienced and powerful as Canelo. He admitted that the first round could be tough, a moment to figure out timing, range, and rhythm.
It's gonna play out, man. You know, like I always say, it's gonna be a tough few rounds, you know, until Terence makes his adjustments, and then, like he does every fight, he's gonna take it over and run away.
However, he was clear that Crawford sticks to a well-tested approach that's been central to his success. Bulmer explained that once Crawford studies his opponent, adjusts to their rhythm, and figures out their strategy, the fight starts to shift his way. This wasn't just hype, it was a calm, confident view from a trainer who's watched Crawford solve every challenge that's come his way.
They let Terence grow, the worse off they're gonna be. So that's how I look at it, like that. You just look at it, a big dude.
Yeah, no, he looked pretty filled out, pretty solid. But
at the same time, Canelo has kept things just as personal, bringing up his fight with Billy Joe Saunders. He says Crawford has sparked that same fire in him, and when that happens, he turns into a different kind of fighter once he steps into the ring.
Question for Bud Crawford. You know, a lot of MMA fans, UFC fans, may not have ever seen you fight before, and they might tune in because staying in the UFC are involved. So what has it been like, maybe introducing yourself to a lot of them?
Plenty of critics have joined the conversation, including Jake Paul, never one to stay quiet. He's jumped into the Canelo versus Crawford debate, taking aim at how the fight is being promoted. Known for mixing showmanship with fighting, Paul didn't hold back, calling out what he sees as a gap between the hype and the actual matchup.
I think it's corny, to be honest. You know, I tweeted, imagine if Ronaldo and Messi had dinner together before the World Cup. That's just not how real competitors. You think Michael Jordan was doing that type of shit? So I think it's corny, and I would never engage in any of those activities.
The battle is just beginning, but Canelo Alvarez has already made it clear he's lost all respect for Terence Crawford. The Mexican star says Crawford's actions at the press conference weren't just loud, they felt personal. What hit hardest, according to Canelo, was Crawford's attitude, especially when he said he doesn't care about meeting anyone's expectations.
More personal because, you know, I did respect him. I don't respect him anymore because he say, I'm not gonna do what they want me to do and this and that. And then he tried to, maybe Turki Al told him, hey, you need to do something because you seem so nervous in Riyadh. So and he tried to he welcome me back, and that's why I pushed him. And you know, like I say, don't with me.
Does it bring a different Canelo then?
Yeah.
Canelo echoed his feelings at the press conference, boldly telling the media and boxing officials that the chaos in their last fight might have been sparked by Turkey advising Crawford to pressure him. In response, Crawford didn't hold back. He warned that if Canelo tried to mess with him, it could be the end of his career.
You know.
Listen.
Hey, we know, buddy. We know.
First
We
and foremost.
know. Before I respect his word because he say, "Oh, I'm not gonna let somebody to tell me what I need to do," and he did. So, but you know me. Just I respect everybody, but if you with me, so it's gonna be different.
Terence Crawford's choice to face Canelo Alvarez in his own weight class isn't just bold, it's fearless, challenging, and potentially historic. In a sport where most fighters play it safe, Crawford is going straight at the toughest test. He's already the only boxer in the four-belt era to go undefeated in 2 divisions, and now he's aiming for a third, against one of the most accomplished champions of this generation. Not everyone is thrilled by this move. Even some of boxing's biggest names, like Hall of Famer Bernard Hopkins, have spoken out. But when asked who he favored, Hopkins, known for his sharp fight IQ and calm under pressure, didn't flinch. He gave Crawford an 85% chance of winning.
He has a legitimate chance. Over 60% for as much. If you say, Bernard, give me a number.
Give me a number.
He has an 85+ chance to.
Hopkins gave Crawford a surprising 85% chance of winning, which made a lot of people take notice. He wasn't basing it on numbers, he saw something deeper in Crawford. According to Hopkins, very few fighters can face real pressure without breaking. For Crawford, the focus shouldn't be on pleasing critics or proving something to others. His mindset needs to be solid from within, to step into the ring fully believing that nothing Canelo throws can break him. No matter how tough, painful, or drawn out the fight gets, he must not back down.
He's not going in there to prove something, which will fall into Canelo's hand. He would love for him to prove something. That means you will stay there and try to prove something. But to go in there and to let him know, establish that from the first round, that I belong, without showing that I am tough. I earned my position to be here. And I want to show you, even though you're being stubborn, that your time not only have came.
There's no shortage of opinions leading up to this fight, and Teddy Atlas hasn't held back. He's fully backing Crawford to take control and handle whatever comes his way. Atlas isn't interested in being polite. While he's not questioning Canelo's legacy, it's clear he wants to see Crawford take the throne.
Taking Crawford, he'll handle it all. That's it. I am. I'm not in any way trying to shortcome the tremendous fighter named Canelo. I like Canelo a lot, but I like Crawford more. I like Crawford, and I liked him before Canelo didn't look great in his last fight against Skull. I liked him when the fight was first made 2 years ago, or talked about 2 years ago, or close to 2 years.
Even Crawford, who fully understands the challenge ahead, isn't backing down. He said, "Yeah, he's definitely heavier than me, but I've got tools that are better than his too, so it's going to be a great fight." Amir Khan, who has shared the ring with both Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford, also weighed in. He called it a tough matchup to predict. While Canelo is generally the bigger fighter, Khan noted that Crawford didn't feel much smaller when they fought.
It's a hard fight to call Canelo Crawford because, Crawford is a big guy as well. I normally would say Canelo because he's a bigger guy, but and normally he's bigger than his opponents and he puts on the weight well. And when I fought him, he was much heavier.
Khan also pointed out that Canelo rehydrates and steps into the ring much heavier than Crawford did when they fought. Even though Crawford was able to match Canelo in size during their separate bouts, Khan felt a clear difference in punching power. He said Canelo's power felt far more dangerous, something beyond the usual, and believes that Canelo's strength could be a major factor in this fight.
Then again, when I fought against Crawford was as big as Canelo, but I just don't feel that Crawford hits as hard as Canelo. Canelo hits very hard. His power is, his power is like unreal.
Speaking with Talk Sport Boxing, Amir Khan acknowledged Crawford's impressive power, but said it doesn't compare to Canelo's knockout strength. He noted that Crawford has looked sharp in his recent fights, even though both men are in the later stages of their careers. Khan believes the matchup is still very close and could go either way.
With Crawford's got power, don't get me wrong, Crawford's got amazing power, but the thing is that it's not that knockout power that Canelo has. Now, you have to understand, I fought Canelo 10 years ago or so. Now, is that the same Canelo that is out there now? But a lot of people saying Canelo's maybe past his best. Crawford's come off some good wins, looking really good, but still, the age is very similar. Both guys are getting on towards the end of their career. I think it's evenly matched, but I do lean more towards Canelo in this one, even though Crawford's a very close friend of mine and helped me in my training camp for my last fight. But it's a hard fight to call because both fighters are at the top of the game. I think it's something that boxing's not seen for a very, very long time, where you've got two fighters. It's hard to say who's going to win. It is a 50-50 fight. Is it skill or power that's going to win, or is it skill or speed that's going to win the fight?
So yes, Canelo may have the size advantage, but Crawford isn't backing down. He has the speed, mindset, and skills to match. He's in this fight to win, not just to survive. This confidence comes from ability, not arrogance. Crawford respects Canelo's talent but believes he can be better, and if he's right, it could mark the start of a new era. Others in the boxing world are beginning to share that same belief. On the Porter podcast, Anthony and Andre Berto couldn't hide their respect for what Crawford has accomplished.
It's going to be a great fight. And two of the best are fighting the best. I mean, my opinion, I think you can put Crawford in any position, and man, for some way he knows how to figure it out to get out of that position. I mean, he's man, and he got that dog in him.
Canelo definitely has the size advantage, no doubt. But Crawford isn't shaken. He's got the speed, mindset, and confidence to face this challenge head-on. He's not just here to make it through, he's here to win. That belief comes from skill, not ego. While Crawford respects what Canelo has done, he's betting on his own ability to be better. Frank Martin also shared his thoughts on how Terence Crawford and William Skull might approach a fight with Canelo. He noted that Skull chose a more cautious strategy in Canelo's last bout, something Martin felt was a bit too safe. But he doesn't expect Crawford to do the same. Martin said just because someone is the bigger man doesn't mean it gives them the edge. Bigger fighters are often slower. He pointed out that when a smaller fighter moves up in weight, they need to avoid heavy shots, especially from a puncher like Canelo. Still, smaller fighters can bring unique advantages as the spotlight intensifies around Canelo. Familiar names from his past have started to resurface. One of them is Floyd Mayweather, the undefeated legend who once faced a young Canelo in Las Vegas. This time, Floyd isn't throwing punches, he's throwing sharp words. His confidence hasn't changed, but his timing is bold. He called Canelo out, saying he got to pick his opponents and was overrated. "I was almost 40 when I schooled him," Floyd said, adding that Canelo gets too much praise while others are overlooked. But Floyd isn't the only one fueling the fire. Another legend, Oscar de la Hoya, has also weighed in. De la Hoya, known for never holding back, offered a layered take, one that included both criticism and praise, adding another voice to this already heated build-up.
Or we'll see, Canelo just annihilate him because of the weight. You have to remember that Crawford is a 47-pounder or 54-pounder, coming and Canelo has fought he's probably weighed 200 pounds in the ring at one point. So, and it makes a huge difference, guys. 1 pound, 2 pounds, 3 pounds makes a huge difference. So, especially at the elite level. So I think it's a great.
But Oscar de la Hoya also pointed out the real impact of size. To him, it's not just a number on paper, it's a weapon. Canelo, who has fully grown into the 168-pound division, brings a level of strength and physical force that Crawford hasn't had to deal with before. De la Hoya didn't hold back. He admitted that even with all of Crawford's tools, the size difference might be the one thing that throws off the challenger's plans. He wasn't sure how to compare it to his own past, but said this fight could go down as one that's remembered for decades and earn Crawford a spot in boxing history if he pulls it off. Still, Crawford remains unfazed by all the talk around size. He stays calm. He doesn't shout, but when he speaks, people listen. He's heard it all before. Too small, outmatched, won't hold up. Yet here he is, moving up another weight class with the same quiet confidence. For Crawford, this isn't a wild move, it's part of who he is. He's built his career on defying limits and proving people wrong. No, not really, Crawford said when asked if the weight worries him. I'm strong. And come fight night, people are going to see just how strong I really am. A lot of people are overthinking the size factor. Canelo is strong and a solid puncher, but so am I. It's going to be a good fight. Former champion and current top boxing analyst Tim Bradley has also backed Crawford without hesitation. He spoke with a level of belief that's rare. Bradley said Canelo won't stop Crawford, not with power, not with pressure, not with size. He believes Crawford has too much skill, too much toughness, and perfect timing. In his view, Canelo is about to face someone who can match him not only physically, but mentally too.
Pick Terence Crawford to beat a Canelo Alvarez, even at 168. Everybody can call me crazy and whatever you want to say. I get it. Y'all didn't believe me when I told you about Spence, but trust me, Crawford will figure out a way. I know a secret y'all don't know, and I ain't gonna tell you why I would pick Terence Crawford, but it's part of the secret is the reason why I'm picking him.
More than anything, he has a mental edge over Canelo.
You could possibly say that.
Yeah.
Possibly say that. You know? Has he lost yet?
No.
You see Canelo go down the stretch and second guess himself sometimes? There it is right there.
Bulma focused on more than just being physically ready. He stressed how important it is to be mentally, strategically, and nutritionally prepared. His goal is to make sure Crawford isn't just fit, but performing at his peak in every way. On fight night, Bulma wants everything firing smoothly. His confidence is clear. If every detail is on point, even someone like Canelo becomes beatable. We know what kind of fighter Canelo is, he said. So you've got to be mentally ready for that. As a trainer, it's my job to make sure he's sharp across the board. Mentally, physically, with strength, diet, everything. You've got to be at 100% so when the time comes, the job gets done. Bulma also talked about what sets Crawford apart, his mental strength. He believes Crawford's self-belief runs deep and never wavers, and that mindset could give him the edge against a seasoned opponent like Canelo. He's locked in, from start to finish, all he's thinking about is winning. That's the difference, Bulma said. Even with Canelo's experience, Bulma mentioned that there have been times in past fights where Canelo looked uncertain in the final rounds. Crawford, by contrast, stays focused until the end, and that, Bulma believes, gives him a serious advantage. Today, it's often not just about skill, it's about who stays sharp under pressure. Bulma said, ask yourself, has Crawford lost? Have you ever seen him fade late in a fight? Meanwhile, Canelo second-guessed himself in the late rounds. That's the key. And now, the wait is almost over. The energy is rising fast. Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford aren't just chasing titles, they're chasing legacy. Every face-off, every quote, and every moment leading up to this fight has shaken the boxing world. Crawford's confidence hasn't budged. Canelo's legacy is on the line. And the closer we get, the higher the stakes feel. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button, subscribe for more, and drop your predictions in the comments. Will Crawford make history again, or will Canelo prove why he's still the face of the sport? Let us know, because the fight of the decade is almost here.